Today we're going to talk about AI and nutrition. So I'm Ashley.
Hello, everyone. I'm Danielle.
And we're the Crohn's and Colitis dietitians, and we're here to make nutrition less conflicting, less confusing, and a little bit easier and more fun. So I wanted to talk about AI and nutrition because I've gotten approached in the last month by 3 different companies that wanted us to sponsor their apps or tools that they have that utilize AI to help people with IBD specifically. So I find it really interesting. And I guess let's start a conversation with where do we stand with not within the context of nutrition, but in the context of using AI in general. I think there is a lot of value with any kind of new technology. There's always fear, but value. And I think technology will continue to use it more, as AIs just continue to pop up more and more. And with that comes both pros and cons. But what are your thoughts about AI in general and things that you've seen?
AI, well, it is pretty cool, not gonna lie. It's really cool that you can tell a computer system a few things and it may spit out information. The not so cool thing is that information, of course, we don't know how correct that is. So if you're looking into certain things, it's not like it gives you the proper sources for things. So there's a gray area with it. Based on what I know about it, it sounds like it will only get better and better. But right now, it's very much at its toddler stages, is what I hear in the AI world.
Good point. Learning. Yeah. And, myself and a lot of people use AI in different ways. Sometimes you and I might use AI to come up with a title for a YouTube, for example.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, it's really changed the blogging world, for example. I think the blog, including things like Healthline and places we get, good, solid information, or some of these places where they used to give authors a lot of time to put together a blog. And so they would pay really well for a lot of these medically reviewed blogs. Now, what I've seen in the writing space is that they're paying less and less for writing jobs because so many people use AI. But I think it can present a problem when AI might give you stuff that's not quite medically sound. That's for sure. You and I have seen that.
Absolutely.
And we're seeing it being used more and more. So not only when you Google something, the AI stuff appears at the top, but also a lot of the blogs that we're reading, we have to wonder and be careful about, hoping that someone's double checking all the stuff that they're writing or using AI to write, because I think there's a lot of tendency for more wrong information to be presented.
Yeah. I think it can be a good starting point, but I think you need that expertise to either confirm or deny the whole truth and what AI spits out at you.
Yeah, that's a really good point. We can't lose the people aspect of really customizing information for the person.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and we see this all the time, with Instagram, we can post stuff about what we know in general, but it's never going to be individualized advice for somebody because everyone is going to be different in their journey with IBD, different in their complications, different in their triggers. So yeah, it's not individualized advice, and it never will be in the context of when you take out the person aspect. I mean, I think we can get close to that, but we can't replace some of the nuances of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still a little too robotic for my liking. A dietitian, if you will.
I feel like I say nuance almost every YouTube, so I need to come up with a better word. Yeah, but in the context of why I started thinking about it was apps. So there are a lot of apps now that are trying to develop this technology where you take a picture of your food and then it tells you, it uses data over time of you tracking that food is a trigger for you and then telling you basically if you should have it or not, or if it's healthy or not. So using that kind of data to help guide people. But I immediately thought of like many reasons why that could be hard for IBD, but what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I couldn't imagine an app telling me what to eat or what not to eat. There's so much wrong with that. In an instance, too, like, would it account for someone being in a flare or not? Would it account for where their IBD is, or if they have strictures, or what else is going on with them health wise? Also, when it comes to IBD, as you know, if you've watched any of our videos, we talk about how your gut is like a muscle and you can train it to improve your tolerance to food. I don't think an app would tell you that.
Right. And it may, what I envision too is this can definitely push people further down the path of excluding lots of foods and not never adding them back.
Yeah.
Because we all know that symptom triggers are you're a lot more likely to have a lot of symptom triggers when you're in a flare up than when you are as that starts to ease down. And so you might unnecessarily exclude too many things. And it definitely doesn't help you with the expansion piece, being able to expand the diet to more things like you're talking about. So I think there's a lot of downsides to it from that regard. And, for that reason, I don't think with where it currently stands, I don't think I could ever get behind using an app as a tracking method because it's based on our own data, and our own data is inherently biased, especially in the context of IBD. Like it just is.
Mm-hmm. I think, this conversation can be revisited when AI is at the 25-year-old kind of mindset. But yeah, because we're in toddler land. I wouldn't want to talk to a toddler about my dietary choices for my Crohn's. So yeah, not quite there yet. Interesting, but it'll be cool to see like where AI goes in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, that's true. How it evolves over the years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But also kind of scary.
Yeah, I think we all feel that way with new things or technology that we're not sure about. Like, can you remember back when Facebook came out, or like all these like MySpace and Zynga? And I think there was a lot of fears then too about, well, what's going to happen, and all my stuff is, there's a lot of excitement, but also like fear.
Mm-hmm.
Think of social media.
Yeah.
Is that what you experienced, or did you experience anything different?
I feel like if anything, when Facebook came out, I was around 17 and it was more so excitement. And then there was fear in the year 2000 when everyone thought the Y2K bug was going to just wreck everything. So do certain people feel that way about AI? Possibly. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think about how much Facebook has changed in the last decade or two. I think back, I don't know if anybody out there ever looked at your 2008 self posting on Facebook, and like everyone used to post like stream of consciousness, like what they're thinking, stuff that you'd never post now.
Yeah.
Like you post on someone's wall. But nowadays we do that less, because when you share something, you're sharing it with so many people.
Mm.
And I think there's more of an awareness of that. And we didn't have that same awareness when it first came out. Yeah.
I would agree with that. Very interesting.
Yeah. So anyways, that's that. I don't think we're in a place where an app is going to be super helpful yet for clarifying your triggers. But if you do need help, reach out. We'd love to help you with helping you identify what your triggers are, and then also how to move past that, how to move beyond it, how to add more things back and reduce your symptoms.
And Ashley, not to mention actual human connection and empathy to understand what you're going through. And I don't think AI is ever going to compete with that. So we are here.
Yeah, I think it's going to try to. We already see that. Like there's companions and stuff. I think it's going to try to do that, but I don't think I'll ever feel like I don't need human connection and empathy and like real lived experience. There's something about that that's special.
Yeah, 100%. So we're here for you if you need that.
Yes. All right. Take care.